Alright, hey there YouTube, Dubs Rider here, and we are going to be doing a how-to video today on the center stand for the CTX1300. I got some ideas from the guys on CTX1300forums.com on how to do this really quick and simple. And so what we're going to be going through here today is what's in the box, what do you get when you order the center stand. I got this on eBay. I think it was about 146 bucks or so, and that's with shipping, so not a bad price at all. And we're going to be doing a video on how to install this, hopefully quick and simple, on the bike. I'll be taking you guys along on the process here and trying to show you exactly what you'll need to do it yourself, not have to pay the dealer how to do it. So without further ado, we'll jump into the box here and see what you get, and I'll come back a little bit later. Alright, so welcome back, guys. I unpacked the box there, and everything came packed in bubble wrap and stuff, so not a bad packaging job, I suppose. But there are no instructions at all in the box on how to install this, so I'm assuming they just expect that you'll be going to a dealer to do this. But as you can see there, you've got a chrome piece that I'm assuming is going to replace the muffler on the other side, the muffler chrome piece on the other side, so we'll have to figure out how to take that off. You've got the center stand itself in the center. You've got a little bag on the top there of what looks like spacer washers. You have two springs, and you have two Loctite bolts, or two bolts with Loctite pre-installed, so it doesn't look like it's an incredibly complex job. We'll just take our time here and kind of see and take it step by step. So I'll be back at you once we get everything kind of set up here. I found some instructions online, and I'm kind of just reading through, taking my time here, making sure that I'm doing everything correctly. The first step that it talks about is taking off this muffler part here. Okay, and to do that, I took a 5mm Allen wrench, as you can see right here, and I'm just loosening this bolt. Now, I pre-loosened it. It was on there, not too bad, wasn't too tight, but I just kind of loosened it a little bit. Now I'm pulling that bolt out of there. Okay. Now make sure you keep everything, because there's some parts that you will reuse out of this. Okay. This part here now, just that one screw that kind of holds it on. And what you're gonna do is slide this forward. So you're gonna slide it forward, and it's gonna pop right out. And as you can see there, it's held on by this little guy right here. Let's see if I can get my camera to focus there a little bit. That little guy right there kind of holds it on. Now you will, and there's also one part back here, right here, that kind of holds it on as well as the same part underneath, and it kind of just notches in there, slides back and locks on, and then you put that bolt in there and it holds it on. So that's the first step. We'll come back after we've had a chance to go back and check the instructions again for reference, and I'll bring you guys back in at the next step. Process is here. You're gonna remove this muffler cover, which we already did, and then you're gonna uninstall the grommet that holds the bolt in place on the muffler cover. So this is the old muffler cover here. On the back side of the muffler cover, there's a little piece, little spacer there. Okay, you're gonna remove that. And then you're simply going to push the washer, or push that rubber grommet through. Okay? and you're going to end up with two pieces. You need to keep these two pieces because we'll install those on the other muffler cover that has the cutouts for the side stand or the center stand. So alright, simple step there. We're moving along, and I'll bring you guys back in at the next step. The next step in this process is to put the new grommet in the new muffler cover. So this is the back side of the new piece here that we got in the box, and what we're gonna do, slide that little grommet cover, or that little rubber piece, right in like that. Okay, then you're going to take that second piece, and on the inside of the muffler cover you're going to install that. Okay, so on this side looks like this. On this side you've got the metal piece on the inside shown there. So we'll get this over to the other side of the bike and we'll install this, and I'll bring you back when I got the camera set up over there. Alright, so welcome back, guys. What you'll see here, I pull this up, is there's an inside piece right here which goes onto this bracket there. There's also two pieces, two open blocks on this side, okay, that are going to go onto the muffler cover for the back section. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this and very gently just slide this back on, trying to line up those blocks. And just take your time with it, there's no rush. Kind of hear it click into place there. Okay. Alright, so welcome back there, guys. What we have here is I just slid this piece back on. Like I said, you've got the three points, two back here, one down here. Okay, and you're just kind of sliding that back on. And then what you're gonna do is just slide that original bolt back in. Okay. Now this is the same bolt and grommet that we took out of the original muffler cover. What we're going to do is just tighten this down. I think the specs say 39 foot-pounds. This bolt just needs to be locked into place. You can use some Loctite if you'd like. But I just tightened it down there so that by hand to Alright, welcome back, guys. As you can see, we're back to original setup here, back where I had everything laid out. Your next step is going to be putting this grommet into this hole. Okay, so what I did is, it says you need some dish solution, some dishwash soap or something. Basically, the idea behind this is you want to make this a little bit slippery so that it'll slide in there, but you don't want to use something that's going to stay slippery. So what I got is some Clorox wipe. I make sure they're nice and wet, and basically wipe both sides of it there, and just use a screw, like you're screwing in a bolt or something, and slide that right on there. And that's gonna dry up, and as you can see there, it's not coming out of there, and it's gonna dry up. And what this is gonna do is keep you know, the center stand from hitting your bike on the other side. What we're gonna do next is we're gonna put some grease on these joints here. So it says to put grease on this and this point, and that's because that's where the bolts are gonna go underneath your bike. Now I've got is just some Molly sin guard that I've got kind of laying around the garage here, and it's high temperature, won't melt, and it's water resistant, so it's kind of all purpose. And what we're going to do here is take a little bit of this smelly grease, and we're going to put it on the insides of these bolts. And it doesn't have to look the best. You can always clean it up afterwards. But the goal is to just keep this part lubricated. So, some nice grease on there, both sides. And if you wear rubber gloves, then you can just take the glove off and you're all set. There's another point where we'll be applying grease to the bike, but that's a little bit further down the road here. So pretty simple step. Like I said, nothing difficult so far, and I'll bring you guys back in at the next step. Hey guys, so the next step that I've kind of determined here is these little grommet pieces that come out of one of the packages there, they need to go into the center stand here. And what I've got here, they've got grease on them now as well, so I'm assuming that's why we had to put the grease on. What I did was I'm installing them with this flat side back towards the back of the bike, okay? Popping them in on the inside there, okay? And you're going to do exactly the same thing. You can slide this out on the other side and pop them in on the inside of the bike. Make sure that flat side's facing backwards towards the back of the bike. So what I'll do is our next step's kind of putting the center stand in place here, and then using the two supplied bolts here to put it onto the bike. And so I'll show you a shot of the underside of the bike here, and we'll come back. Alright, welcome back here guys. So our next step is to kind of softly install or partly install the center stand onto the bike here. And this is the little bracket that it goes on the other side of the bike. Okay, and if you notice on the back side of this, there's a threaded bolt. Okay, so the pre-supplied bolts that they gave you are going to go into that section, or screw right into those bolts. Okay, so now what we're going to try to do here, and I'll try to keep the light on it there. So what we're going to do is slide this right in here. Okay, be careful of the other side of your muffler. Okay, and what you're going to do is just slide that right on and line that up. Okay, then you've got these pre-installed packets here with the bolts, and they come pre-set up with Loctite on them. Okay. On the right side of the bike, the threads are backwards, so you're going to be turning it this way, backwards, counterclockwise, to get that one to go in. Okay? And I don't believe that they got us at this point tightening any of these bolts up. Okay? I think we're just supposed to leave them just kind of hand tight there, and I'll bring you guys back in the next step here. Alright, welcome back guys. So in the instructions that I found online, it says that they are 10mm bolts, but they are not 10mm bolts. They are 14mm bolts. And so the next step is to tighten these down. Alright, that took a little longer than expected to find the adapter. What I'm using is a small ratchet wrench here, and that's just so I can get in here and clear the clear the exhaust without nicking it up there. Okay, so remember, counterclockwise on the right side of the bike as you're facing forward. Tighten this bolt down. And there's torque specs and the instructions online, but with the Loctite on there, I would tighten them down and just hand tight there, and that's going to hold that bolt in place. So what we're going to do is I'm going to repeat on the other side of the bike and just tighten that bolt down, and I'll come back. Welcome back there, guys. And as you can see, I've done some digging around, try to find the best way to get the spring on there while having the center stand installed on the bike already. I had toyed around with using the ratchet strap, and I just couldn't get that to work. And so what I did was I stretched the spring out using a ratchet strap. Just off my trailer, I stretched the spring out, and I installed pennies on each one of the sides there. And so as you can see, that made it long enough to just kind of pop right in there. Made it very easy to install there. So now, from what I understand and what I've researched here, you should be able to just put the bike on the center stand and the pennies will fall out, or you'll be able to pull them out. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of back up the camera and stuff here, put the bike on the center stand, and we'll kind of film that happening. So I will be back in a few. Alright, welcome back there, guys. And so I wanted to kind of put a wrap on this and talk about some things that you might notice going through the install. And really, the hardest part of the install comes down to just having a plan on how you're going to put the spring on there. There's a couple different ways of doing it. You can do the penny method like I did. You can do the ratchet strap to the back tire. That's an option. Or you could just have a second person help you. That's always a good option as well. So just have a plan of attack on that. Otherwise, the rest of the stuff really only takes you about 10 minutes, 15 minutes at most. Just take your time. It's not incredibly difficult. I just wanted to give you a shot there of what it looks like on the bike. I'll kind of pan there. And then I'll bring you guys back and show you what it looks like on the center stand. So I will bring you guys back in when I get on the center stand here. Alright, so now we've got what it looks like on the center stand. And as you can see, you've got quite a bit of clearance underneath that rear wheel. Probably brings it up a good 2 inches off the ground, 1.5 inches off the ground. But it brings the bike up considerably just through the center. So if you've got to do an oil change or work on your bike at all, it's a handy thing to have. So for the cost, I really think that it's a worthwhile investment. And make sure that you don't pay the dealer. Like I said, it's not incredibly difficult to do yourself. And so yeah, that's pretty much a wrap on doing the center stand install. I want to thank you guys for watching. please like and subscribe. And if you want to see more videos like this, just let me know what you want to see. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.